is Theo Taylor. Today, the Wheaton College 15th-ranked women's soccer team takes on Illinois Wesleyan at Joe Bean Stadium. Wheaton comes in with a record of 14-2-1 overall, 4-1 in CCIW play. Now we send it to Zach Bowler and Noah Helm for the action from today's game. Take it away, guys.
Thank you, Theo. You are actually joining us in the middle of the national anthem, so we will be with you in one moment. All right, good afternoon and welcome to Joe Bean Stadium for another game of Wheaton Thunder Women's Soccer. I am Noah Helm, joined today by Zach Bowler. Wheaton College is entering today's game number 15 in the nation at 14-2-1 on the season, 4-1 in conference play. They're going to be taking on the Titans of Illinois Wesleyan today, who enter the season at 11-5. 3-1 in CCIW play. This is actually, Zach, the 19th meeting all-time between Wheaton and Illinois Wesleyan University, and this series began way back in 1994. The Thunder actually hold a 17-1 advantage, including 2 wins last year. They have compiled a record of 87-2-3 at home since the start of the 2002 season, and this includes a 26-match unbeaten streak here at Joe Bean Stadium that the team currently holds. Zach, why don't you recap the last week for us real quick before we get underway here?
Yeah, thanks, Noah. Wheaton trying to put together a little winning streak here since their loss to Carthage just 2 weeks ago. They have won 2 in a row. On Saturday, they traveled to San Antonio and beat Trinity University 5-1. Goal scorers in that game, Taryn Lee, Allie Kopelman, Carrie Kishaba, Carrie Kleinstra, and Jamie Orweiler. And on Tuesday, they defeated Dominican University 7-1, Lee scoring the hat trick with goals also by Kleinstra, Orweiler, Williams, and Herman.
Wheaton is going to be in white uniforms along with white socks, and they'll go with navy shorts today, orange numbering on the back of their jerseys. Wheaton's got the ball to start the game. They're going to be running right to left on your radio dial. Illinois Wesleyan in their Titan green jerseys and socks along with white shorts. Zach, who is Wheaton going to have to watch out for today on this Illinois Wesleyan team?
Well, I think that they're definitely going to have to watch out for forward Molly O'Brien, who comes into this game having scored 7 goals on the year, including 2 against Augustana last Friday, scoring both goals as they shut out Augie 2-0.
All right, if you're just joining us, Wheaton's got the ball here on the near side to start the game. Starters for Wheaton, Erickson's back in goal, starting the game in goal for Wheaton. She's going to be joined on the field by Orweiler, Berg, Karsten, Kleinstra, Delatorre, Lidner, Fultz, Lee, and Mosier. Lee's got the ball right now, about 25 yards off the end line. Now plays it near side to Delatorre, who's been playing this position a lot more. Flick on header by Kopelman to the center of the box, and that's cleared out. Illinois Wesleyan's going to be coming down with it. For the Titans today, it's going to be Novak in goal. She's going to be joined on the field by O'Brien. Again, Wheaton's got to watch out for her. 7 goals already on the season. Fulner, Sampson, Kugler, Dolak, Pennington, Hoekstra, Rodriguez, Knack, and Leeton. Kleinstra touches the ball back to Karsten. In the back for Wheaton is Fultz, Lidner, and Mosier from left to right. In the midfield, it's going to be Delatorre on the left side. She's got the ball right now. Plays over to Kopelman. Kopelman's got it near the goal line on the near side. Now plays it across the box. That's going to be touched out by Illinois Wesleyan. Right back to Kopelman. Now it's cleared off of Kopelman all the way back to Fultz. Fultz has it on her right foot, plays it up in the air, trying to find Lee or Delatorre. She finds Delatorre here on the near side. Delatorre sends Kopelman. She's offsides. 0-0 about 2 minutes into this game.
Offside.
And again, Wheaton looking to move to 15-2-1 on the season. Free kick taken by Rodriguez. That's going to go all the way back into Wheaton's defending third of the field. And here comes O'Brien. You got to watch out for it. Plays it in the air across the box. Touched by Foltz and Karsten. Karsten puts it right back to O'Brien. And O'Brien puts it over the end line. That is going to be, should be a goal kick. And Mosier has a bloody nose here about 2.5 minutes actually.
I don't think this is a fluke, Noah, that Illinois Wesleyan putting on some early pressure in this game. I think this is a game that Wheaton can't afford to take lightly. Illinois Wesleyan, a good team, 3-1 in the CCIW. They've won some big games this year, including going on that 6-game winning streak before their last loss.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's a conference game too, and both of these teams battling for top spots in the conference. If Illinois Wesleyan takes this game from Wheaton today, that means they are 4-1 with 2 conference games left, and Wheaton falls to 4-2 in conference. That would put Wesleyan ahead of them. So this is a huge game for the Thunder,
which would obviously play huge with the CCIW tournament coming up as well. As far as seeding for that tournament goes, Wheaton does not want to put themselves in a position where they're going to lose the top seed in that tournament.
That's right. They also want to be able to host it. The top seed again will host the tournament, so we want that to be at Wheaton, obviously. It's going to be a corner kick for Illinois Wesleyan, and constant early pressure. O'Brien and Wheaton just coming right down the field and putting it on the Wheaton defense.
And that's not entirely unexpected. We expected Illinois Wesleyan to come out and put some pressure on in the offensive zone, and the question is going to be how well Wheaton's defense can prevent them from getting the ball in the net.
Corner kick, it looks like Rodriguez is going to take this one for the Titans. Played in the air towards the center of the box, head on, and that's going to go into the goal. The header was by Dolak and fell down in front of Erickson. She wasn't able to pick it up. The defenders were not able to clear it off the line. And we're going to have to see who was there. It looked like it may have been, let's see. Looked like it may have been Sampson. Not quite sure who scored that one, but regardless, Wheaton trails Wesleyan early 1-0. That initial pressure resulting in a goal quickly.
Yeah, that's a mistake by the defense, and Erickson just couldn't get the handle on the ball. She made the first save and dropped it right in front of her where Illinois Wesleyan was ready to pounce. No one boxed them out. No one got them out of the net goal, and they were ready to pounce on the ball, and they put it in the back of the net.
So Wheaton with a 1-0 deficit here. About 4 minutes into the first half on Illinois Wesleyan. It's going to be a Wesleyan throw on the far side, just shy of midfield. Okay, it was credited to Dolak. She had the initial header, so I guess she followed that up. They say follow your shot in basketball. You do the same in soccer. She was able to put it away.
Absolutely. You always have to be ready for a mistake by the goalkeeper in this game.
Okay, now they're crediting the goal to Sampson. That's actually who we thought scored the goal. So Sampson gets her first goal of the season. And looks like it's going to be Fulner with the ball on the far side. Has it taken from her by Karsten. Karsten touches to Orweiler in the middle of the field. Orweiler out to Berg. Berg sends it up to Lee, who drops it to Kleinstra. And she's going to lose it in the middle of the field. We've seen Orweiler move from the outside midfield position to the inside with Delatorre coming on the outside. Coach Felsky said that's given Delatorre good possession on the outside of the field, and it gives Orweiler the ability to move Wheaton up the field faster. And pace is obviously important, especially at this stage in the season. Delatorre with the ball here on the near side. Attacking third of the field, trying to go by Knack. She does, plays left foot across the box. That's going to be cleared out of bounds off the end line by Rodriguez for the second corner kick, I believe.
And that's a good play right there, Noah. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to get to the outside and get balls crossed into the middle, and that's how you get corner kicks. That's how things like that happen.
Wheaton plays short quite often on corners. They do it again here. Played short to Kleinstra. Kleinstra has Foltz all the way back. She's being defended well, though. Kleinstra now plays it towards the top of the box. That's going to be cleared by Fulner all the way back to Lidner. Lidner plays near side to Foltz. Foltz has it just across midfield. Now plays in the air up to Kopelman. Flick on header, trying to beat the defense in the air to Lee. They're not going to be able to. That's going to be cleared now by Sampson. She's actually a defender, went up on that corner kick to put it away. Berg's got the ball now on the far side, coming up in the attacking third of the field. Plays line, trying to find Kleinstra. She does. Kleinstra's got the ball at her feet, cuts it back, and now plays back to Turner. And Turner checked into the game when Mosier got hurt. Here's Lee in the box. She's taken down. An advantage was called for a second, and then Wheaton won the corner kick, and it's going to be a Thunder corner kick.
That's a tough no call there.
Thunder corner kick.
So Kleinstra and Berg going to line up over this corner kick. and they play it short as usual, short to Kleinstra. They're being defended by 2 Illinois Wesleyan players. Berg plays the ball across towards the top of the box, laid back to Karsten. Karsten lays it up to Delatorre. Delatorre with the ball about 30 yards out, lays it back to Foltz. Foltz plays left foot towards the top of the box in the air. That's going to be headed out of there by Hoekstra. She's got 6 assists on the season. Team leader in assists in that category. Ball's played all the way back to Lindner now. Wheaton will look to reset in the backfield. Played over to Foltz. Foltz splits 2 defenders on the ground. Unfortunately, right to Illinois Wesleyan. Molly O'Brien has it in the middle of the field, touches it upfield, and Foltz is going to clear it straight back down the middle of the field. Karsten comes up with it, trying to keep it in front of her, and goes a little too far out in front of her. Hoekstra comes up with it. Hoekstra to O'Brien. O'Brien's got it in the middle of the field. Now she loses it to Karsten, who touches it outside to Berg. Berg streaking down that far sideline across midfield on the ground. Has Orweiler in the middle, plays up to Kleinstra instead. Kleinstra with the ball at her right foot on the far sideline. Top of the box extended, now taking it into the box from the side. And that's going to be cleared out by Sampson. Clearance goes to Turner. Turner may look to play this right back in. She does, up in the air. That's going to bounce once at the feet of Pennington, and Pennington puts it out of bounds for a Wheaton throw-in.
Now we're about 8 minutes into this first half. Illinois Wesleyan leads Wheaton 1-0. And you have to be impressed so far with the defensive and offensive play by Illinois Wesleyan so far in this game. They've really not allowed Wheaton to get many good cracks at the goal, and they put one in themselves.
That's right. And they're defending our corners very well. That's got to be something they watched on tape or something. Ball now bounces to Delatorre. Top corner of the box, near side. Now taking it towards the goal line, has one defender in front of her. And she's going to be dispossessed by Knack. Knack puts it upfield, trying to find O'Brien. O'Brien with Lindner on her back. Lindner looking to contain, now stabs in, gets a piece of the ball, and Orweiler comes up with it in the middle of the field, trying to go by Wheaton. She does. She gets tripped. Advantage is called. Up to Kopelman. Kopelman with a defender in front of her. Now another steps, and she knocks it off of a defender. That's going to go to Kugler. Kugler puts it upfield. Straight to Karsten, though, who got it at the top of the circle and plays it over to Berg on the far side. Berg loses it, and it's touched down the line and out of bounds by Hoekstra, a Wheaton throw. Usually on corner kicks, most teams are not expecting Wheaton to play it short, to play the possession game off the corner kick. Illinois Wesleyan, on the other hand, is sending 2 defenders right there.
It seems like they've done their scouting report. They've seen that Wheaton's been playing that short corner all year long, and they've been ready for it.
That's right. Lee tries to get a pass off, and she's fouled from behind by Tina Rodriguez. It's going to be a free kick for Wheaton. And Delatorre plays the free kick back to Karsten on the ground. Karsten plays all the way back over to Foltz, now near side. Foltz touch up to Delatorre. Delatorre moving towards the goal line. Has Knack on her back, plays left foot across the box to Kleinstra, and Kleinstra puts it off the post and into the goal. Tie game.
What a beautiful cross by Delatorre there. Just played perfectly onto Kleinstra's foot. She did the rest.
So Kleinstra picks up her 7th goal of the season. That's going to be Delatorre's 6th assist of the season. Kleinstra from Delatorre, and that ties this game up at 1. How big was that to get that goal right back?
I mean, that's absolutely huge. The question now is, are they going to be able to keep the momentum and keep putting pressure on the Wesleyan net?
Ball's going to roll back to Erickson now. We're about 10 minutes into the first half. Wesleyan struck first, and Wheaton comes right back with a goal. Kleinstra with a great finish. Persistent finish, you may say. Orweiler touches over to Foltz. Foltz touches line near side to Delatorre, just shy of midfield on Wheaton's side. Delatorre plays it in the air across midfield to Lee. Lee, with her back to the goal, drops it to Orweiler. Orweiler touch back up to Lee. Lee now plays a one-time flick pass, switching the field, finds Berg streaking on the far side. Berg trying to cut into the side of the box from that far side, steps over, now goes a goal line, now cuts back. Has 2 defenders on her, drops it back to Turner. Turner rockets one towards the center of the box. That's going to be cleared out by Wesleyan. Being pressured by O'Brien from behind. And Turner megs O'Brien. Unfortunately, O'Brien's going to come up with it. And O'Brien actually sends a pretty decent through ball. It's going to be way far out ahead of any attacker, though. Erickson's going to control it with her feet. Now she picks it up and rolls it out to Foltz. Foltz has it, plays on the ground up towards the middle of the field to Karsten. Karsten trying to keep the ball in front of her. Now plays past Wheaton over to Delatorre. Wheaton covering Delatorre now, and now she'll go cover Karsten as the ball's dropped back to her. Karsten plays back to Lindner, and Lindner plays square across the field to Foltz at that right back position. Foltz is actually playing left back, but she pressed over to the right side for a little while there. Now ball's played back to Lindner, and Lindner plays on the ground up the middle of the field to the bottom of the circle where Karsten has it. Karsten plays line on the near side right at midfield to Delatorre. Delatorre brings the ball on the dribble towards the center of the field. Now with a through ball on the ground trying to find Kleinstra up top. She's not able to. Batted back to Turner. Turner plays Berg on the far side. Berg with the ball at her right foot coming towards the center of the field. Plays left foot on the ground towards Lee. That's going to be cleared out up to O'Brien. Headed out by Foltz, and that's going to go to Turner. Turner plays on the line up that far side of the field, and that's going to be knocked right back towards her. And here comes, it looks like Fulner. Fulner plays across midfield into Wheaton's territory to Wheaton. Wheaton with a great through ball to O'Brien. Look out, this may be her 8th goal of the season. Here comes Erickson, and O'Brien puts it past Erickson for her 8th goal of the season.
And it all started on the defensive end, Noah. Wesleyan continues to shut down. Wheaton has controlled possession of this game, and they've dominated really in the sense that they have played most of the game in Wesleyan's end. But Wesleyan is winning the races to the ball in the defensive end, and they're converting that on the offensive end. They haven't had that many chances, but they've been able to turn defense into offense and transitionally play the ball up, and they've converted the chances they've had.
So Wheaton picks up her 4th assist of the season. That's O'Brien's 8th goal of the season. You said it before the game. Watch out for this girl. She connects there and puts Illinois Wesleyan up 2-1. A lot of goals early in the game. Berg with a long ball into the box, straight to Lee. Lee tries to put it past the keeper, and that's going to be collected, though, by Novak. 3 goals already. If you combine the scores from the two teams, just not even 13 minutes into the first half. 2-1 is your score. Wesleyan leading.
Could be in for a high-scoring game today, Noah.
It could, but a lot of times you see this slow down a little bit. You see the defenses start to realize what they have to do, and they're going to stick Turner on O'Brien. Her sole purpose right now in the defense is to mark her. Usually you see Lindner in the middle of her 2 outside backs. Here's Lee coming up on the top of the box, plays on the ground up to Orweiler. That's going to roll too far. Novak comes up with it. Usually you see the defenders, outside defenders, playing on either side of Lindner, and you're going to see Foltz on the left side, but wherever O'Brien goes, that's where Turner's going to go.
They're just using Turner as a shadow right now, just marking O'Brien and not leaving her for the rest of the game.
O'Brien gets the ball, and Turner is right on her back, basically in her jersey, and touches it out of bounds. It's going to be a throw for Wesleyan on the far side, right at midfield. Throw goes in over the head of O'Brien and Turner. Back to Foltz. Foltz touches it off of Wesleyan and out of bounds. It's going to be called a Wesleyan throw. So Wheaton will not be allowed to sub right here. Ball is cleared off the throw. Clearance goes up to Kleinstra. Kleinstra has it in the middle of the field, trying to get past Wheaton. She cannot. If you want to watch this game, if you're not watching it already, go to WETN.org. Click on the drop-down box that says Watch Live, and you can choose a couple different options that will allow you to watch this game live online. Delatorre with the ball, nutmegs Wheaton. Pass up goes to Kopelman. Kopelman with her back to the goal, now turning towards the goal, now cutting back across towards the midfield line. Plays back to Karsten. Karsten plays square to Foltz, coming up into the attack a little bit now. Foltz hits Delatorre on the line. Delatorre being guarded by Wheaton, drops it back to Foltz. Foltz plays right foot in the air, top of the box to Lee. Lee with a header trying to find Kopelman. Finds Knack instead, and Kopelman takes it from Knack, has it on the near sideline. Keeps it in bounds, now going towards the near post. She's tripped up a little bit, still has the ball, plays negative, and that's going to be knocked out of bounds off of Wesleyan for another corner kick, and you'll see a substitution here. So Oliver is going to check in for Turner. And do you change your strategy? Still shadow O'Brien?
That's a good question. We'll have to watch and see what they do. It looks like right now, well, it's hard to tell right now because Wesleyan backed up in their own defensive end. Right. O'Brien playing deep in her own defensive end.
Corner played long to Lee. She touches it to Kleinstra. Kleinstra's going to hit it off of Wesleyan, out of bounds, another Wheaton corner. And Wheaton forced to play that one long. after Wesleyan's been defending the short passes off the corner kick, and they're defending it now too, but Wheaton plays it anyway. Touch goes to Kleinstra. Kleinstra trying to split two defenders on the ground. Wesleyan's going to take it from her and play it up the line to Oliver. Oliver plays right back up the line to Berg. Berg can't hang on to it. That's going to be Hoekstra with the ball on the far side of the field. Knocks it off of Wheaton for a Titan throw.
Looked like Wheaton tried to hurry that corner kick a little bit. They wanted to get the short corner off, but Wesleyan was still ready for it.
Throw goes all the way back to Fultz. Fultz lays it over to Lindner in the middle of the field in the back. Lindner's got the ball on her right foot. She's got Delatorre on her left, plays Delatorre. Delatorre with the ball on the near sideline, being defended by Wheaton. Splits two defenders, trying to send Lee. It's going to be knocked back by the defense. Wheaton not having the best of luck with their through balls so far. Ball rolls back to Lindner. Lindner plays over to Fultz. Fultz has it on her left foot, plays up to Oliver. Oliver trying to turn with the ball towards the middle of the field, now lays it back to Fultz. And Fultz clears it with her left foot. And Fultz is actually calling for a substitution. Looks like she's got a bloody nose, too. I don't know what's going on in this Wheaton defense.
Something in the air,
I guess. Ball's knocked back to Oliver now. Oliver plays in the air upfield, trying to find Kleinstra. She does. Kleinstra's got the ball. Top of the box extended. Tries to play it square to Lee. That's going to be collected by Sampson. Sampson plays it upfield. And that's going to be Wesleyan with possession. Here's a through ball to O'Brien. Come on, Kelly. Kelly sticks her once, but O'Brien pushes through it, and O'Brien has a great ball over to Wheaton, but Lindner was right there and stepped in front of it. Good job anticipating that pass.
And it looks like Fultz is still trying to get off the field. They can't get a stoppage of play to get a substitution, and now it looks like they will.
All right, so Fultz holds her nose. Looks like she's got a bloody nose, so she'll join Mosier by the tissues over there. All right, and Coach Tim Daniels here on the sideline telling Kopelman, who's playing up top, that he wants, as soon as she gets the ball, he wants her to turn upfield and go to that goal line. Start this attack again.
So and Liebedor replacing Fultz on the substitution.
It's going to be Liebedor with the ball here. Liebedor plays it upfield. That's going to be taken out of the air by Wheaton. Wheaton touch goes to Orweiler in the Wheaton defense. Oliver. Oliver plays Berg on the far side. Berg with the ball, carrying it on the ground upfield, plays on the ground up to Lee. Lee trying to win the ball, sliding tackle by the Titans. That's a fair tackle. The ball was won before the player was, and O'Brien with a foul there on Oliver. The Illinois Wesleyan fans don't like that one.
And Lee very slow to get up in the box. It looks like she's all right. She's walking around, but it was a clean tackle, but a very tough tackle there right outside the box.
And a lot of times that's very frustrating. You see a goal coming up, and all of a sudden sliding tackle takes that away from you. It's very frustrating as a player. Delatorre has it now, knocks it back to Liebedor. Liebedor back to Delatorre, who has two defenders on her. Trying to spin down the line to go upfield. Plays it back to Liebedor. Liebedor plays the ball upfield, and it's going to be knocked out by the Illinois Wesleyan defense. Straight to Oliver, though. Oliver touches Karsten. Karsten with the ball just over in Wesleyan territory. Now plays square to Oliver. Still looking to formulate some sort of attack here. Oliver knocks the ball off a defender right back to her. Being defended by Fulner. Oliver touches up to Kleinstra. Now Kleinstra sidesteps one defender, has it on her left foot, coming laterally across the field to the near side. Now plays over to Delatorre. Delatorre in the air across the box. That's going to be headed out by Rodriguez and cleared upfield to Liebedor. Liebedor trying to find Kopelman or Delatorre, and instead she's going to have to try and defend O'Brien as the ball is played right back at her. O'Brien grabbing a good portion of Kopelman's jersey. No call. Wesleyan maintains possession in the middle of the field. And now here comes Berg. Berg's got it on the far sideline, crossing across the midfield line. One defender in front of her, cuts it past her, and now plays on the ground up to Lee. Lee flick on to Orweiler. Orweiler has it at the top of the box on her left foot. Not a real shot opportunity there. The defender was right in front of her. Now she's going to lose it. It's touched back up to O'Brien. Bottom of Wesleyan circle, trying to come into Wheaton territory. And it will, but it's going to roll to Lindner. Lindner plays over to Oliver on the far side of the field. Oliver plays down the line. That's going to be cleared out. A long clearance by Pennington. Clearance goes to Lindner, it looks like. Lindner now plays Oliver on the far sideline. Oliver is dispossessed, and here comes Wesleyan, and there is the stop of the attack. Lauren Lindner coming in from the middle of the field, helping out the strong side.
Great play by Lidner, recognizing the threat, stepping up, knocking the ball out of bounds.
So it's going to be a throw for Wesleyan, who lead Wheaton by a score of 2-1, just about 20 minutes into the first half. Here's a ball across the box, in the air, headed out by Liebedor. Now they flick on header off of Liebedor's header, goes straight to Erickson. So it's actually Wesleyan right there who headed it off of Liebedor's attempted clearance. Erickson collects it, though, and she's going to roll it out. It's going to go out of bounds off of, looks like Oliver. I thought that went off of Wesleyan, but it's going to be a Wesleyan throw.
I'm not totally sure what happened there. Either she just miskicked it, or it might have bounced off the Wesleyan player and then back off Wheaton.
Long throw goes into Fulner. Fulner has it on the goal line, trying to send it across the box. It's going to roll out of bounds. Goal kick for Wheaton. You're going to see a substitution here for Wheaton.
Number 18, Mary Beth Grove, coming in. Looks like she's replacing Rebecca Oliver.
So Grove's going to be playing that right back position, or maybe marking up O'Brien. Erickson's goal kick goes here to the near side to Liebedor. Liebedor has it on her right foot, plays Delatorre down the line. Delatorre in Wheaton's defending third of the field, carrying the ball on the ground towards midfield. Now crosses midfield with the pass. Play goes to Orweiler. Orweiler trying to split two defenders on the dribble. She does. Now trying to play by another one on the ground. She's not able to. Clearance goes up to O'Brien. O'Brien lays it back to the attackers. It's so nice when you have a forward who realizes they're not going to be able to take on the whole team from midfield, lays it back to the defense, and allows them to catch up a little bit.
Especially in this kind of game, possession is crucial.
And here's Kleinstra looking for her second goal, and that's going to go out of bounds, cleared off of Wesleyan. Another Wheaton corner. This corner, let's see, do you think they'll play it long or will they go short again? They've had trouble playing it short today.
I think they do well to play it long. I think they have had a lot of trouble. It looks like Illinois Wesleyan, for now at least, has figured out the strategy of going with the short corner. And the one time that they did play it long, they got a pretty solid opportunity at the net.
That's right, actually went out of bounds for another corner kick. Looks like we'll see. Kleinstra and Delatorre lining up over it. They're going to go short. Touch to Delatorre. Delatorre trying to split two defenders on the dribble. She does, coming in towards the side of the box. It's going to roll past her. Orweiler has it. Orweiler going towards the goal line. It's going to be kept in bounds by Orweiler. Actually, it's going to go out of bounds. Goal kick for Wesleyan.
You know, I guess what that proves is it doesn't matter if you kick it short if you have someone like Maria Delatorre who can just go through two defenders.
I'm not quite sure how she was able to get through there, let alone get the ball through there.
That was a pretty ridiculous move.
Goal kick to be taken by Novak. She hasn't had too many of these so far. Headed out of the air by Orweiler. Orweiler's header goes to Lee, who plays Delatorre on the near side. Delatorre one time towards the center of the box to Novak. Sure hands, she comes up with it.
Cross just went a little long. She wanted it a little farther laterally up the field. Played it a little long, and the keeper was able to get her hands on it.
Great punt. Probably one of the best punts we've seen this year. Goes all the way back to the Wheaton defense. Played to Lidner. Lidner touches upfield. Now it's going to be Karsten with the ball. Karsten plays on the ground across midfield to Kleinstra. Kleinstra touch up to Lee. Lee can't hang on to it. Illinois Wesleyan is right on these attackers' backs, which is making it really hard for them to turn upfield at all.
Absolutely, and this is the strategy we were talking about earlier. Despite the fact that it seems like Wheaton has controlled the game, Wesleyan continues to shut them down on the defensive end and not allow them to get their passes through, which is turning into a few offensive opportunities for Wesleyan, but they've converted on the ones they've had thus far.
And Sinclair is going to check into the game for O'Brien, so you would think that's a good thing for Wheaton, but Sinclair's got 4 goals on the season. It's going to be a corner for Wesleyan, and that's going to be taken by Rodriguez. Wesleyan pack in the box. Rodriguez plays it high, taken out of the air by Kopelman, headed towards the top of the box, straight to Wesleyan, played on the ground towards the goal. That's going to be knocked off of a defender or 5. Now cleared up high. That's going to be Kopelman running out with it. And Wheaton's defense pushes up. Kopelman plays across midfield to Kleinstra. Kleinstra cuts it middle of the field, trying to beat one defender. Now she does. She went right past Hoekstra. Kleinstra going towards the goal line. That's going to be cleared out of bounds. Another Wheaton corner kick. That was quick getting up the field.
Nice play there. That's the transitional game that Wheaton needs to take control of in this game. That's what Illinois Wesleyan has been doing so well. Wheaton showed that they can play that game too right there.
And Kopelman, after making that great play upfield, is going to get a rest now. Kashaba checking in for her. And it looks like the Wesleyan players playing further back now off the short corner kick. Play to Delatorre. Now she plays it long to Kashaba. Kashaba heads it on goal. That's going to be good hands again by Novak. About 20 minutes left in the first half. Wheaton trailing Illinois Wesleyan by a score 2-1. Score was 1-0 Wesleyan. Then Kleinster tied it up, and then Wheaton lost the tie to Molly O'Brien in her 8th goal of the season. Trying to find the equalizer sometime here before halftime. Orweiler wins the ball in the middle of the field, and she turns upfield, being pulled from behind. No call. Continues carrying it. Now splits Wheaton with and another defender with a pass, and she's knocked down. Finally, she'll get a call. You can see why Coach Felsky moved her to the center midfield position. She gets Wheaton up the field pretty quickly. Ball played over to Grove on the far side. Grove plays in the air towards Kleinstra. Kleinstra plays it across the field. Delatorre now has it. Delatorre coming middle of the field. Could have a shot with her right foot near the top of the box. And she takes it. It's going to go off of a defender back to Orweiler. Orweiler looking to set something up again for Wheaton. Attacking third of the field. Plays square to Kashaba near side. Kashaba square back across the field. And 2 square passes in a row right in the attacking third is a tough decision. The defenders are going to read that. Little deflection.
Lucky bounce there for Wheaton.
Yeah, in Wheaton's backfield. As luckily the attacker fell down on the deflection.
Yeah, ball came through with no defense back there. Wheaton just got lucky. The Wesleyan defender fell down.
Lidner with the ball now on the near side. Being defended by Dolak. Dolak plays... Actually, Dolak has it played by Lidner. Now Lidner's going to play it out of bounds here on the near side of the field. Throw in for Wheaton. Wheaton's throw goes in off of a teammate, right back to her and out of bounds. Throw for Delatorre now. Delatorre throws upfield to Lee. Lee touches Orweiler. Orweiler trying to split the defense. And she can't. Gets it right back, though. Now plays in the air towards the box. It's going to be headed out by Rodriguez. Header goes far side of the field. Now it's going to be cleared up the center of the field. Lee has not really been able to get too much going for herself yet up top. She hasn't found the ball at her feet, always trying to make 1 or 2 touches to set it up for herself. And then by then she's got 2 or 3 defenders on her already. What is Wheaton going to have to do to get her more involved?
The Wesleyan defense has done a great job of neutralizing Lee. I think the key is, and we keep harping on this, but I think the key is that it seems like the good chances of this game have started at the defensive end. If they can get the ball transitionally, Lee can have some space. If the Wesleyan defenders are back and attempting to get back, if Wheaton runs up the field, they can create some space for Taryn Lee.
And Lee is going to play a shot or cross across the box. That's going to go out of bounds for a goal kick for Novak. Novak and Wesleyan leading Wheaton by a score of 2-1 early. Still early in this game, I guess. We still got a whole half ahead of us after this. About 16 minutes left in the first half. It's going to be Liebedor with the ball here on the near side, playing Orweiler on the line. Orweiler checked out to the left midfield position. She's knocked down. Really physical team, this Titans team.
Very physical, and I think it's playing to their advantage thus far in the defensive end.
Oh, absolutely. Foul's called, so it's going to be Lidner to take the kick. And Delatorre moved back towards the middle of the field. Ball's played short to Lidner. Lidner plays in the air to the middle of the field, trying to find Delatorre. Delatorre goes up and wins the header. Touch goes up to Lee. Lee trying to win it. Can't. Foul is called on Taryn Lee. Must have had a hand in the back or something as she went up to get the ball.
Yeah, I think she just jumped into the defender as she went up to try to play the ball. That's one of those tic-tac kind of fouls that you're more likely to get when you're in the attacking end than on the defensive end.
And here comes Lidner as the ball is cleared back to her. Traps it with her thigh, running towards the near side of the field. Plays left foot up the field, across midfield to Kashaba. Good touch. And Kashaba trying to send Lee now in the air. Wind knocked that ball down. And now it's played back to Karsten. Karsten trying to control it, touches over to Berg. Berg with one defender in front of her, that's Hoekstra. Berg trying to beat her middle of the field, now lays it back to Lidner. At the top of Wheaton's defending third, Lidner plays near side to Liebedor. Liebedor touches up to Orweiler, still shy of midfield. Orweiler back to Liebedor, and Liebedor is going to play in the air across midfield. That's going to go over the head of Kugler to Kashaba. Kashaba trying to send Lee, sends her to the near flag. Lee trying to work a little magic on this defender, plays on the ground across the box. That's going to be cleared out by Rodriguez. Wheaton throw now coming up on their attacking third of the field on the near side. Liebedor's throw goes into Lee. Lee trying to turn. She does. She's coming towards the goal line now, taking it near post, plays negative across the box, trying to find Kleinster. Kashaba, Kleinster had it, but there was a wall of defenders in front of her. Couldn't do anything with it.
Yep.
Still attacking, though. Ball played into the box, and looked like
Nice play by
Kashaba,
the keeper.
Kashaba and the keeper getting there just at about the same moment.
Looked like Kashaba was going to get a head on it for a second, but the keeper came charging in and took it right away from her.
Long punt taken out of the air by Liebedor. And now Karsten trying to win it in the middle of the field. Ball bounces once, headed upfield. That's going to find Sinclair. Sinclair lays it back across midfield to Pennington. Pennington plays it in the air, up across midfield, trying to find Hoekstra, taken out of the air by Berg. Berg's header goes upfield, and it's knocked back. It's going to be Wesleyan with it. Dolak sends the ball straight up the middle of the field. Orweiler's going to clear it. It's going to find Dolak's head, and Delatorre trying to win the ball from Wesleyan in the middle of the field. And the long clearance goes into Wheaton's box. Erickson should come up with this one.
Well, we have a moment here, Noah. We were talking about Taryn Lee earlier and how the Illinois Wesleyan defense has been able to shut her down. That's no small feat. Lee has scored 17 goals in her last 12 games. She's scored at least a point in 11 of those 12 games. So she's been on quite a tear lately. It's pretty impressive the way that Wesleyan has been able to not only keep her off the scoreboard, but really keep her from having any good chances thus far in the game.
And it seems like the only forwards who have gotten into this game at all, if any, have been the ones on the outside.
Absolutely. And I think that comes from that play up the field, and that's what Wheaton has to concentrate on. They've got to get those crosses in from the outside. That's how they scored their one goal, and I think that's how good chances will come from this point on.
The only other thing I can think of is Orweiler's gotten some good penetration on the ground.
She has.
So we may see something of that later in this game. Lee to take a long corner for Wheaton. Plays it in the air, trying to find Delatorre. Flick on, header by Delatorre to Kashaba. Kashaba heads it towards the center of the box. It's going to be cleared out, straight to Delatorre, though. Delatorre trying to win it, knocked back now to Karsten. Karsten plays on the ground, up through everybody. That's going to roll into Novak's hands. 12:22 left in the first half. Wheaton trailing Illinois Wesleyan by a score of 2-1. And the ball's going to roll all the way back from the clearance to Erickson. Erickson's got Liebedor showing for her on the near side, throws it to her. Liebedor controls it. Now plays line to Orweiler, who's got Wheaton right on her. Orweiler plays line, trying to go past Wheaton. It's going to go off of Wheaton and out of bounds. Orweiler's throw goes upfield, flick on header by Kashaba, and then it's going to be cleared by Wesleyan. Clearance goes up to Sinclair in the attacking third of the field, coming up on the goal line. Sinclair tries to play it across the box. It's going to go off of Lidner, who defended it well, and out of bounds for a corner for the Titans.
Number 17, Amanda Kessel, and number 24, Kelsey Porter.
You got two substitutions here. It's going to be Amanda Kessel and Kelsey Porter checking into the game. Checking out is going to be Dolak and Hoekstra. Corner for Wesleyan. Wheaton cannot allow another goal. Corner taken, and a great header.
Oh.
Luckily, Orweiler was on the near post and was able to put her face in front of it and head it out.
What a play by Orweiler. Very impressive play, standing right along the near post where she needed to be and knocking that ball out of there.
And when I say what a header, I mean that corner kick was driven low and hard.
That was drilled at the net.
And the attacker that met it with her head was on a full-out sprint, did not even break stride.
Great play by Illinois Wesleyan.
On the near post.
It's just a better play by the defense.
Wheaton trying to find the equalizer. 10:30 left in the first half. Clearance goes all the way upfield. Rodriguez is going to clear it high. Clearance goes off of the head of Liebedor. Liebedor's header to Karsten. Karsten plays it on the ground up the middle of the field, and that's going to be cleared by Wesleyan up to Sinclair. Sinclair trying to work magic on the defense. Goes by Grove, but Lindner stops her, and Grove clears it.
And the Illinois Wesleyan faithful not too happy about that, Noah, but I think that was a good no call. It looked like both Wheaton defenders got in on the ball first before the attacking player fell down.
Orweiler cuts it across midfield. Now plays on the ground up to Kashaba. Kashaba touches out to Delatorre. Delatorre looking to put something in. Plays on the ground up to Orweiler. Orweiler touches in the box on her right foot. Plays it straight to the keeper, Novak. Good run, though, by Orweiler, who had it initially in the middle of the field. Continue to run all the way up into the box.
Great run. Quick play up the field once again.
First bit of dribble penetration we've seen towards the inside of their box all game, actually. Hopefully signs of more things to come. Long clearance, goes up to Lee, controls it with her chest, now has one defender on her. That's going to be Kugler who comes up with it. Kugler plays far side.
And again, we see anytime Taryn Lee touches the ball, there's someone right on her.
It's unreal. It's like you turn on a light bulb and all the moths and gnats just come out of nowhere and they flock to it. Now Liebedor's going to clear it up to Delatorre. Delatorre touch goes up field to Kleinstra. It's going to be knocked back now to Delatorre by the Wesleyan defense. Delatorre with a defender in front of her and a couple more ready to support. Delatorre plays on the ground line far side to Kleinstra. Kleinstra with just Sampson in front of her, who scored the first goal of this game. Kleinstra drops it to Berg. Berg could play in the air across the box. She does. And it's going to go to Kashaba and over the head of Orweiler. The foul is going to be called. Actually, it's going to be an offsides call. So one of Wheaton's three attackers in that instance were offsides on the play. And with about 8 minutes left in the first half, you're going to see a substitution pretty soon for Wheaton. You'll see two for Wesleyan, but one important one for Wheaton, bringing Mackenzie Williams into the game. Going to try to get some speed up top, beat these defenders with through balls on the ground. You saw Wheaton do it when Orweiler went into the box. She got a through ball on the ground. And maybe that's the best way to do it. Send a midfielder through on the ground. The defenders have a hard time picking her up, but they're going to try to send it forward. That's going to be Williams pretty soon. Wheaton wins the ball for Wesleyan, plays it up to Sinclair, and Sinclair's going to lose it to the Wheaton defense. That's going to be Grove with it in the middle of the field. Plays over to Berg, far side. Berg being defended on the far side of the field by Porter. Goes by her and plays Lee. Lee with a one-time pass. She's playing it quick now because she knows she doesn't have a lot of time with it, Zach.
Yeah, she's definitely trying to adjust to Wesleyan's game, and you can tell she knows that their defense has been all over from the moment she's touched the ball.
And you'll see two substitutions here actually for Wheaton. Williams is going to check into the game along with Hodina. Checking out for Wheaton is Delatorre and Carrie Kashaba. Leighton and Fulner are going to check out for Wesleyan. That's a little sigh of relief. Wheaton maybe going to be able to possess the ball on the near side of the field a little better with Leighton out of there.
Yeah, interesting substitutions for Illinois Wesleyan so far in this game. You've seen their leading scorer, Molly O'Brien, has not even played about the second half of this first half of the game. Makes you wonder if there's something wrong or maybe they're just trying to get her some rest.
Yeah, I think with this lead, they're going to try to get her some rest. They think that they know that they are capable of scoring against Wheaton, putting two through early. Throw's going to go in down that far sideline to Karsten. Karsten lays it back to Liebedor in the defense. Liebedor comes up across midfield, plays near side to Hodina. Leighton's not on this near side anymore. Hodina plays through ball on the ground up to Orweiler, cleared off of Orweiler. And now a final clearance by Kessel. Kessel's clearance goes up to Marcheski. Marcheski plays middle of the field to Martin. Martin playing across midfield on the ground. Good step by Berg trying to dispossess Porter. And Kleinstra comes up with it. Kleinstra with Williams in front of her. Could find her on the ground in a second. And Kleinstra has it taken from her. Rodriguez plays on the ground up the field to Karsten. Karsten trying to keep it in front of her. Plays Orweiler. Orweiler with loads of defenders in front of her and very little help. She's being pushed in the back. No call. Orweiler still with the ball. Plays in the air towards the goal. Collected by Novak. Just packing it in at the end of this first half, looks like.
Yeah, and that was another instance of the Wheaton attackers looking for Taryn Lee, trying to get her the ball, but once again, she had two defenders shadowing her. She didn't even have the ball.
It's going to be a long left-footed clearance by Lidner, taken out of the air by Kugler. Kugler now loses it to Berg. Berg cutting towards the middle of the field, still in Wheaton territory, lays it back across the circle. And here's Hodina now on the near side. Hodina with two defenders in front of her, splits them. Pass goes up to Orweiler. Orweiler cuts back middle of the field, has it taken from her by Knack. And Knack's pass is good step by Lidner. Touch back up to Orweiler. Orweiler with Hodina on her left. Kleinstra on her right. Placed Kleinstra on her right. Kleinstra one touch trying to find Lee. If she had played it a little more to the right, Lee would have been able to run around the defender, but it was cleared instead.
It looked like finally Lee had a little space, and unfortunately Wheaton just wasn't able to get her the ball.
And a pulling on the jersey call on Porter. So that's going to be a free kick for Wheaton and Mary Beth Grove. Grove's free kick goes upfield, trying to find Williams. It's going to be knocked back towards Lidner. Lidner clears it with her right foot. That's going to go out of bounds on the far side. Windy, cold day. It's just going to keep getting colder. 4 minutes left. In the first half, Wheaton trailing Illinois Wesleyan by a score of 2-1. Again, we remind you we have the football game being broadcast later today against North Central. That's going to start at 7 o'clock. Coverage probably starting a little bit before. Throw-in goes down the far sideline into Wheaton's defending third and out of bounds. That's going to be a throw for Liebedor. And Liebedor throws middle of the field, trying to find Kleinstra, knocked out of bounds off of Wesleyan, back to Liebedor. She'll do it again, move up about 10 yards. Looking down the line. Throws it over the head of Berg. It's going to be knocked back towards Liebedor, but Sinclair comes up with it first. Sinclair plays negative across the field, towards the middle of the field to Kessel. Kessel beats Hodina. Look out. Now she beats Lidner. Kessel running towards the near side of the box. Now knocks it off of Hodina, who recovered nicely. Throw for Wesleyan. Throw goes in to Kugler. Kugler knocks it back, and it's cleared. Now near side, Berg trying to get rid of it, and she clears it down the line over the head of Williams. Williams slows down to contain and has the clearance knocked off of her. Berg coming upfield now, supporting Williams. Berg plays middle of the field to Kleinstra. Wheaton trying to get an equalizing goal with about 2:40 left. Kleinstra plays over to Orweiler. Orweiler is going to go right by her, but here comes Hodina retaining possession for the Thunder, and she plays it out of bounds across the end line. Maybe a little too hasty.
Definitely, and a good chance there for Wheaton. It seemed like play was getting a little more sloppy there as we near the end of the first half, about 2.5 minutes to play. Ball seemed to be bouncing around a little bit more, and it looked like a chance for Wheaton to kind of slow things down, calm the play down, and take possession, but unfortunately playing the ball a little too far and out of bounds there.
So it's going to be a goal kick for Wesleyan. Great tackle by Hodina. Touch goes to Orweiler, back to Hodina. Hodina with two defenders in front of her, plays across the box, headed out by Rodriguez. Carson trying to win it back, and she may have a shot near the top of the box. She's dispossessed. Wheaton not really able to find much of anything, and here comes Wesleyan's counterattack. Look out, this has been dangerous so far today.
Yeah, Wheaton has to be careful here.
And here comes Liebedor stepping in and clearing it back upfield a little bit. Berg trying to win it for Wheaton. Berg's touch goes near side to Kessel, unfortunately. Kessel touches it straight to Carson, and Carson clears it out to the near side. Orweiler trying to keep it in. She will. Cuts it down the line a little bit. Now trying to come middle of the field, stepping over the ball, sends Lee down the line. Lee with one defender in front of her. Touch out of bounds off of Wesleyan. Throw in for Lee. Throw goes quick in the box to Orweiler. Coming goal line, and it's going to go too far. Out of bounds, goal kick, Wesleyan. Coming up on a minute left in the first half.
That was a good thought there by Wheaton. Unfortunately, just weren't able to take complete possession of the ball. They had some space. They had an opportunity. Unfortunately, just let the ball get a little bit ahead. Again, out of bounds.
First half, 1 minute.
Goal kick over the head of Kleinstra. It's going to be Wesleyan controlling it. Ball goes up to Sinclair. And Sinclair loses it out of bounds for a Wheaton throw. Here at halftime, we're going to honor the seniors of this Thunder team. Those would be Kelly Foltz, Aaron Hodina, Carrie Kleinstra, Justine Morey, Lauren Mosier, Carly Olson, and Chase Pounds. Seniors to be honored at halftime. Wheaton coming towards the side of the box in the form of Orweiler. Orweiler back to Hodina. Hodina plays in the air across the box. Williams trying to keep it in play. And she will. Now lays it back to Berg. Berg has it on her right foot, goes past a defender. Now plays on the ground across the box. 10 seconds left. Ball goes back to Grove. Grove sidesteps the defender, now loses it back. And it looks like it's going to be 2-1 at halftime.
4, 3, 2, 1.
So at halftime, your score is 2-1. Zach, summarize what we saw.
Well, you can't be too disappointed in the way that Wheaton's played, honestly. They seem to have really controlled possession. They're getting the majority of the opportunities at the offensive end. Unfortunately, just a matter of converting. Illinois Wesleyan has done a great job on the defensive end. They've shut down almost every opportunity that Wheaton's had, and on their own offensive end, they're converting the chances that they've had.
And so they do lead 2-1 here at halftime. And they're going to honor the seniors in the center of the field at half. We won't stay here for that. We're going to go back to the studio, and when we come back here, we'll have some halftime statistics for you. But for now, 2-1 Wesleyan at half. Back to Theo in the studio.
They have lost a total of 4 games in conference play, and that includes the loss to Carthage 2 weeks ago. 90-4, the all-time record for the Wheaton women in CCIW play. So they're not used to losing CCIW conference games, especially not twice in 1 year. This is surprising that Illinois Wesleyan has come out and played as well as they have, especially since Wheaton is undefeated at home this season. But you have to give them credit. They've played a great game. They came in with a game plan. We'll have to see if it continues in the second half.
And it's continuing right now. Wesleyan gets the ball to start the first half, goes out of bounds right away on the far side of the field. Wheaton is going to be running left to right on your radio dial this second half. Mosier and Foltz are both back in the game. And so here's your defensive line for the Thunder. It's going to be Mosier playing a shadow role to O'Brien. Actually, it's going to be Foltz, actually. So Foltz is going to be shadowing O'Brien everywhere she goes. Right now she's on the far side of the field. Lidner and Mosier also in the back. Ball goes into Kleinstra near the top of the box, and now it's going to be cleared out. In the midfield, a little bit difficult to see right now what the formation is. A lot of people out of position. Lidner coming up the field as one position supports another when you have a defender come into the attacking third of the field. Delatorre is out on the left side. She's going to be playing left midfield. In the center midfield position, Kopelman with the ball in the box. Going to try to put one on goal. That's going to go wide.
Good play by Kopelman, taking the ball from the defender there and getting a decent shot at the net.
Yeah, good pressure. So again, Delatorre on the left side midfield. Orweiler stays in the middle. She's going to be supported by Turner. Playing the right midfield position is going to be Berg. So they drop her back to midfield. And then up top is going to be Kleinstra, Lee, and Kopelman from right to left. And the goal kick is headed back to the keeper. That's going to be Novak coming up with it again. She had a pretty solid first half, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I think she played very well in the first half.
Now a clearance up to O'Brien, who's back into the game for Wesleyan. Probably not one of the best things for a Wheaton defender to see. Wheaton comes into possession in their defending third of the field on the far side. Delatorre tries to clear it up the line. It's going to be knocked right back, though, to Dolak. Dolak plays it off of a Wheaton player, looked like Delatorre or Orweiler. That's going to be Kugler playing it upfield, trying to find Hoekstra. Ball's laid near side now and played across field, middle of the field, and Delatorre is taken down from behind by Dolak. That's going to be a free kick for Wheaton every time. This time it's going to be in the middle of the field.
Once again, an instance of Illinois Wesleyan taking a foul, but, giving Wheaton possession, but it's very, very far away from the opposing net. So if Wheaton's going to score, it's certainly not going to be directly off the free kick. So Illinois Wesleyan not taking fouls that hurt them too much.
And that one, actually, I think that's good. That lets Wheaton know that, hey, we're right on your back. We're not letting up at all. Even on that pass, you're going to have to check to the ball because I'm checking to the ball.
Definitely.
Throwing for Wesleyan on the far side in Wheaton territory. Coming up on the attacking third. Throw goes in over the head of Delatorre. Looks like that's going to be Wheaton trying to beat Mosier. Mosier drops it back to Lidner. Lidner plays it in the air up the middle of the field past Orweiler. Now Orweiler gets the ball touched back to her from Turner. Orweiler in the middle of 4 Wesleyan players. And now she's going to lose it off of a little give and go with Lee. Delatorre comes up with it, though, on the far side, crossing over midfield. Plays across towards the center, top of the circle to Orweiler. Orweiler tries to keep it going. Looked like Wesleyan may have got a foot on that pass. It's going to be knocked back now. Berg possessing the ball. Crossing over into Wesleyan territory. Near side. Looking to cut back towards the near sideline and turn down the line. Now passes it down the line. That's going to be cleared out, though, by Pennington. Clearance goes up towards Foltz. Foltz and O'Brien battling for it. Berg comes back to help Foltz out a little bit, and you might see one of the outside midfielders, whatever side that O'Brien is on, dropping back and playing a little more conservative since O'Brien is on that side of the field.
Yeah, we saw that right there, and I think Brittany Berg did a great job along the side there, keeping control of the ball, not allowing Wesleyan to go by her.
Wheaton not able to beat Wesleyan in the air. Really haven't been able to all day, as Wesleyan and Wheaton both pick up separate balls looking to throw the ball in here on the near sideline. It's going to be Wheaton throw, Berg to take it. Berg's got Lee checking to her, and she's going to throw it to her. It's actually going to go over her head. That's going to roll back to Sampson. High clearance, taken out of the air by Foltz. Foltz's header goes to Wheaton, though. Wheaton touch up to O'Brien. O'Brien turns towards the goal and now sends Hoekstra. Hoekstra running down the near sideline, being defended by Berg. That's going to go out of bounds. Wheaton throw in. If you're just joining us, about 5 minutes in to the second half. Score is 2-1 Wesleyan, leading the Thunder. Here's Lidner now. Lidner plays Berg. Berg gives it right back to her. You'll see a long clearance here. Shy of midfield, though, over the head of Kleinster and headed back towards Wheaton territory by Pennington. Wheaton not really able to get a whole lot going early in the second half. Delatorre with the ball on the far side of the field. She's got Turner in the middle of the field, Mosier behind her. She plays Mosier behind her. Mosier takes a long clearance into the Illinois Wesleyan box, and that's going to be hop, skip, and a jump. Novak comes up with it.
And this has got to be getting a little frustrating for the Wheaton attackers here. Kopelman and Lee and Kleinstra, they really just, none of them have been able to get that involved in the game thus far and get that many shots at the net. We'll have to watch and see if that frustration comes into play, or if they're able to continue to play the way they've played all season long.
And here's a clearance, goes up to Orweiler, and even the midfielders, every time they're getting the ball, as that one's cleared out of Joe Bean Stadium onto Waveland Avenue, even the midfielders, every time they're getting the ball, they've got a defender right on their back. They can't turn upfield.
It really has been an impressive defensive effort by Illinois Wesleyan.
Yeah, Wheaton's trying to play upfield with their back to the goal the entire time. That's difficult. Throw goes into Turner. Turner knocks it back now to Mosier. Mosier plays up the line to Delatorre. Delatorre keeps it in bounds, knocks it off of a Wesleyan player. And they're going to say it's off of Delatorre.
That's an interesting call there. That looks like a little bit of a makeup call. Looked like the ball might have rolled out of bounds at first off Wheaton. Wasn't called. Then rolled out of bounds off Illinois Wesleyan, but throw-in goes to Illinois Wesleyan.
Throw-in taken off the head of Mosier and cleared down the far sideline. Mosier knocks it off of Wheaton, keeps it in bounds, and now trying to find Lee up top. Finds Lee, but she's got her back to the goal once again. Lee with a defender hard in front of her, and that's going to be cleared out by Kugler. Back to Mosier. Mosier with a long ball over the top of the defense, trying to find Kopelman. Kopelman's not going to come up with it. Throw for Wesleyan. There's a little ramp over where the ball went out that leads up towards the public safety parking lot, and it just shot up that ramp. The ball girl's going to have to chase that one down.
Good workout.
Let me tell you, I'd much rather be doing this than be down there running down up and down the sidelines. I hope they get paid or something.
I couldn't agree more.
It's going to be a high clearance towards the center of the field in Wheaton territory from Wesleyan. It's going to be Kleinster now, coming up with the ball on the near side, looking to play down the line or towards the center of the field, plays on the ground to Turner. Turner didn't check to the ball hard enough. She did go to it, but she was looking to keep playing upfield. Kugler beat her to it. Foltz with a little swim move on O'Brien, and O'Brien slowed up enough to give Foltz the foul call.
Yeah, Foltz not happy about that call, but it did look like she got a little tug on the jersey. Probably a good call by the ref there.
And this may be a dangerous free kick, whereas Wheaton has not had many of these. Wesleyan's going to get one here. Rodriguez to take it. Two-man wall. Erickson sets it up to defend the near post. Near side free kick, 30 yards outplayed. Kind of on the ground, up the middle of the field. Skips past everybody and into the goal. Touched by Hoekstra and O'Brien.
Goal's called off.
Offsides call. Offsides.
Wow.
You are my best friend right now. That's what the Wheaton defense is thinking.
What a break for Wheaton there. It looked like it was a very unlucky break. Just bounced right through the box. Didn't even look like it touched anyone, but an Illinois Wesleyan attacker caught offside there. Let's see if Wheaton can take advantage now.
And head coach David Barrett of Illinois Wesleyan asking the line judge on the near side, how can that be offsides? But he needs to go ask the other line judge. Because it was, now he's asking the guy all the way across the field. He's screaming across the field at him, trying to get some sort of an explanation.
Yeah, understandably not happy with the call there, but all you can do now is continue to play the game. You still have the lead if you're Illinois Wesleyan, and you're still down if you're Wheaton. You got to just continue to play.
Long ball into the box. This is where teams need to capitalize on mistakes. Kleinster keeps the ball in play near the goal line and then loses it to Hoekstra. Hoekstra's going to kick it out of bounds. That's going to be a Wheaton throw. And Coach Barrett still wanting some sort of an explanation. And he's just wanting, any reasonable coach would want to know why a goal was taken away. Don't you think? And
yeah,
he's not getting any explanation whatsoever.
Absolutely. I don't think he's being overly rude here. He wants an explanation of the call, and the ref exerting his authority, not willing to give him that explanation.
Yeah, tells him sit down. I listen to my lines judge, and that's what I'm supposed to do.
Yep.
The lines judge hiding over there on the far sideline. Boy, you better be lucky he's not the near sideline lines judge.
He'd be getting an earful right now.
Kopelman plays the ball across Wheaton's box. That's going to be headed out by Wesleyan. Header goes to Turner, though. Turner with her back to the goal, lays it back to Lidner. Lidner touched too far out in front of her, and look out. Here comes Wesleyan. 3-on-2, but it's going to be Mosier with the ball in the backfield for Wheaton. Clearance goes up to about midfield, taken out of the air by Kugler. Kugler touched to Turner for Wheaton. Turner touched it upfield. That's going to go in and out of Wesleyan's box. Clearance upfield by the keeper. That's going to be Novak coming out of the box to clear it. You always got to be sure you clear to your own team because you are so far out of position of being in front of the goal. If Wheaton had come up with it, they could have just tried to put one on goal from 35 yards out or so.
Yeah, risky play. Keeper got caught in no man's land. She came out, thought she was going to be able to play the ball, I think, with her hands. It rolled out of the box, and she was caught.
Throw for Wesleyan, and ball rolls to Coach Barrett, and he's going to take this time to pick up the ball and walk it over to the referee, demand some sort of an explanation. And we're going to try to figure out what's being called.
It looks like the ref is willing to give the coach an explanation. He waited till the ball was played to the near side here so he could come over and try to explain why there was the offsides call there on the goal that was called off for Illinois Wesleyan. So good refereeing here.
Yeah, and they both leave giving each other a thumbs up. It's got to be a little bit of a good sign, right?
Well, that's what you want from a referee if you're a coach. I don't think that anyone was out of line there, really. The coach simply wanted an explanation from the referee as to why the call was made, and the ref waited till the ball was played to the near side to come over and give it to him.
And whatever it was, it did not change the fact that the goal is called back. Lee with the ball in the middle of the field plays near side to Herman, who checked into the game. Herman plays negative across the field, headed out by Rodriguez. Back to Herman. Herman with the ball on the goal line for Wheaton, and that's more like Thunder soccer.
Great pressure right there.
We haven't seen that all day.
We haven't, and that's exactly what Wheaton needs to be doing.
Corner for Wheaton, Herman and Berg. Herman touches to Berg. Berg looking back for Herman. Herman coming towards the top corner of the box, near side, plays left foot across the box, headed out by Rodriguez. She's winning everything in the air right now. Clearance goes up to Fultz, and Fultz is going to knock it right back to Wesleyan, who knocks it upfield to Mosier. Mosier plays on the ground up to Kopelman. Good touch by Kopelman, looking to turn upfield. Like Coach Daniels told her earlier, she actually loses it out of bounds. That's going to be a Wesleyan throw, as a stray ball rolls onto the field. Throw on that far side, defending third for Illinois Wesleyan. Goes upfield off the head of Delatorre and cleared out of bounds by Orweiler. Another throw for Wesleyan now. Throw goes in off the head of Delatorre once again, back to Mosier. Mosier touches back to Lidner. Lidner plays upfield, and it's knocked right back by Illinois Wesleyan. Neither team able to retain possession for too long. Delatorre plays to Orweiler, who hasn't gotten a whole lot of touches here in the second half. Wheaton trailing 2-1 on Wesleyan, about 32 minutes left in the half. Orweiler's pass is picked off. Now touch back to Lidner. Lidner plays up to Kopelman, and Kopelman plays middle of the field. That's going to be cleared by Wesleyan. Wesleyan just playing long ball right now, making it very hard and very easy, actually very easy for Wheaton to just slip into the same style of play. You got to make sure you keep your style of play the way you want it. Wheaton soccer, possession, moving without the ball.
And speaking of style of play, Noah, you were right. When there were 3 goals scored in the first 12 minutes of this game, I thought we were in for a shootout, a 7-6 thriller or something like that. But both teams' defenses have really stepped up and settled down.
And Lee's fouled from behind. But again, and this may be a card or at least a talking to, again, this foul not really in a position where it can directly hurt Wesleyan. Whereas Lee, if she had gotten the ball and maybe been able to run with it for several yards, it would have been. Mosier's free kick towards the top of the box. Skips all the way back to Kopelman. Kopelman tries to play past the keeper, and that's going to go out of bounds. Off of...
Checking in Wesleyan, number 20, Elizabeth Sinclair.
Off of Kopelman, I guess.
And that's frustrating. It looked like Wheaton got a good bounce. The ball bounced through to Kopelman. She just wasn't able to put a foot on it. The ball was just bouncing, and that's a very tough play to make when you've got the keeper bearing down on you, and it just ends up rolling out of bounds.
Also, you're the last attacker here on the weak side of the field where the ball is being played to. Through ball now, Berg and Lidner trying to come up with it. Lidner's going to clear it. You're the last attacker. Oh, wow.
Oh.
And Orweiler takes a shot in the middle of the field off a clearance.
Both defenders took quite the shot, or both players took quite the shot there.
Yeah.
Bounced forehead to forehead.
Wheaton's going to take a throw on the near side. As I was saying before, that exclamation point in the middle of the field, you're the last attacker on the weak side of the field, and when the ball comes all the way across through everybody, you're anticipating it constantly being touched off of someone.
Absolutely.
Looking for some sort of change in direction in the ball. The last thing you expect is that it rolls all the way through without grazing anybody straight to you.
Yeah, and I think we saw the same thing on the goal that was called off for the offsides on this end. The ball was bouncing through the box. You saw almost every player on the field expecting that it would be touched by someone. Ended up being touched by no one and rolled into the net. Luckily, Illinois Wesleyan was in an offside position.
Yeah, luckily the linesman was alert, and the center referee was watching him. Forearm in the back to Orweiler. No call. Orweiler still going upfield, tries to find Lee. That's going to be cleared out. Clearance goes to Karsten, and Karsten touches it upfield to Wesleyan. Wesleyan touches it upfield their end to Fultz. Fultz up to Lee. Lee with the ball in the box, cleared out by Rodriguez. Don't mess around.
Lee had a little room to work with there again. That's what Wheaton has to continue to do.
Kashaba's going to check into the game now, and we'll see who she calls off. Looks like it's going to be Kopelman. And the corner is going to be taken by Herman and Berg. Herman touches short to Berg. Berg maintains possession, now loses it. And it's going to go out of bounds for a Wheaton throw. Wow, a Wesleyan throw. Surprised at that.
Number 24, Kelsey Porter.
2 substitutions for Wesleyan. Kessel and Porter check back into the game, and checking out is going to be Hoekstra and Dolak. We saw that exact same substitution in the first half.
Also a little surprising, Noah, that Wheaton continues to stick with their strategy of kicking those corners short. It hasn't worked often in this game. I mean, it's worked all year long, but you have to wonder when they might abandon that track.
Yeah, they had a great opportunity off a long corner. And I think we may see it soon, though. I think they may, against this Wesleyan team who's defending it very well, they may play that long corner. It's just such a bummer that they got beat by 2 early goals. That's going to be Sinclair with it up in the center of the field. Good step by Mosier. Mosier takes it away. Coming towards the top of the circle for Wheaton. She has Orweiler in front of her. Plays her. Orweiler may have a through ball on the ground here if she wants it. Plays over, through ball on the ground. Herman on the goal line, cuts it back, plays left foot across the goal, over the head of Lee and out of bounds.
That's a great play, though. That, again, is what Wheaton hasn't been doing thus far this game and what they need to continue to do.
So close.
If Wheaton can get those crosses through with relatively little pressure coming on the crosser, they're going to be able to find some time and find the attackers running up the field.
A lot of times you want to be tempted to go inside. That time the touch inside came from a touch outside to Herman. And not sure what this chant is that we're picking up. It sounds like it may be a Wesleyan chant, perhaps.
I think so. Trying to egg their team on. It seems like they've gotten into a little bit of defensive mode here in the second half, just trying to shut Wheaton down, as Wheaton has had the great majority of opportunities here in the second half, but haven't been unable to push one through so far.
Throw taken by Lidner. Lidner's throw trying to hit Herman up top. That's going to be cleared out, though, by Pennington. Pennington's clearance goes to Kleinster, who checked into the game. Kleinster touch up to Orweiler, handball, unfortunate. And Wesleyan, if you can hear their "Here We Go Titans" chant, they've got several guys without shirts on, bodies painted green. They are pretty amped up.
Well, you have to once it gets cold outside, I think.
And that's really the only time I think you can go shirtless as a fan. You're not proving anything if it's not cold.
Not at all. They are proving their fanhood right now.
And Illinois Wesleyan proving the status of their team, leading Wheaton 2-1 with 25 minutes left here in the second half. And Wheaton might have a chance here. Kashaba touch to Lee, goal line, and it's going to go out of bounds off of Wheaton.
They had numbers. Just ball a little bit too far out in front of Lee. Couldn't quite get a foot on it.
Goal kick now for Novak. And she's going to play this one long, it looks like. Plays it long up the middle of the field. That's going to be controlled by Kugler. Kugler touches upfield, trying to find Sinclair. Good step by Foltz. Foltz touches outside to Herman. Herman touch back to Kleinster. Kleinster's playing the right midfield position. Came in for Berg. It's going to go out of bounds off of Wesleyan here on the near side, attacking third of the field for Kleinstra. Throw's going to go back to Karsten. Karsten plays back on the ground to Kleinstra. Kleinstra looking back for Karsten. She's not able to find her, though. Good help defense by Fulner. Long clearance by Foltz, and it's going to go out of bounds for a Titan throw. And we'll see Dolak and Hoekstra come right back into the game, and they'll take out Wheaton and Fulner, so they got maybe a 4-minute rest there.
Yeah, quick substitutions by Illinois Wesleyan.
Throw goes in straight to the feet of Kleinstra. Kleinstra touch up to Orweiler, touches it around a defender and upfield, trying to find Lee or Kashaba. Kleinstra with it. Long ball to Kashaba in the box, off the head of Kashaba, and that's going to skip to the keeper. Novak comes up with it. Novak with another long punt, taken out of the air by Mosier. Mosier's header goes to Kleinstra. Kleinstra heads it upfield to Lee. Lee trying to send Herman. Gets a good through ball. Herman, is she going to be able to keep this in bounds? Yes, she will. Right at the corner flag, near side. One defender in front of her, plays on the ground to Lee, in the box, side of the box, near side. Plays top of the box to Orweiler. Orweiler loses it now to the Wesleyan defense. Cleared out to Foltz. Foltz clears it back upfield, and she's knocked over. No call. Clearance goes to Kleinstra. Kleinstra trying to play it upfield, goes straight through Hoekstra. Plays middle of the field to Orweiler. Orweiler touches it around one defender. Wheaton's got a little bit of numbers. Tries to hit Lee on the ground, and that's another good play by the Wesleyan defense. That time, Tori Sampson.
We're seeing it again. Anytime Wheaton gets a little bit of room, defenders closing in.
Really not able to penetrate up the middle of their box.
No, not at all, and it's been a common theme all game long. We've seen Illinois Wesleyan make a lot of substitutions, starting to remind me a little bit of a hockey team, making changes on the fly, and I think that's part of the reason you see such balanced scoring throughout the year by this Illinois Wesleyan team, and part of the reason why they've been able to keep their defenders fresh, to keep Wheaton from really, like you said, Noah, getting much penetration into the offensive end.
Yeah, the one anchor in that defense is actually would be Tina Rodriguez. Lee with the ball coming up on the goal line, knocks it off of Wesleyan and to the hands of Novak. Rodriguez able to take just about everything out of the air. Long punt for Novak. Over the head of Delatorre, bounced towards Fultz and Sinclair. Sinclair wins it, plays middle of the field, finding Porter. Porter turning upfield, look out. Porter trying to find Sinclair, and long clearance by Lidner shuts everything down. Played right back upfield, though. Here comes Hoekstra. Hoekstra touches upfield to Porter. Porter off the head of Lidner. Lidner flick on header by Karsten. It's going to be the far side of the field. Wesleyan maintaining possession, and then Mosier touches it away. It's going to go out of bounds right at the midfield line for a Wesleyan throw. About 21 minutes left. Wheaton trailing Wesleyan by 1. And it's going to be a free kick for Wesleyan. Maybe 15 yards into Wheaton territory. Tino Rodriguez to take it. The senior captain. In the air, this may be towards the penalty area. It is touched out by Karsten. Foul called, though, as Sinclair knocked Fultz over in the box. Free kick, and you think Mosier would take this. She does. Plays it over to... And I'm wondering why the linesman's flag is up.
Yeah.
Play is stopped.
I think that maybe Wheaton took the kick while the ball was still rolling or from too far up.
Yeah, too far up, he's saying. He's moving them back.
Looks like they're retaking the kick from the exact same spot they took it the first time.
So maybe the ball was rolling. I don't know. Anyway, Kleinster coming up towards the center of the field, touches away from her actually, but goes straight to Orweiler. Orweiler finds Kleinster again, and that's going to be cleared out before Kleinster can get to it by Sampson. Torrey clears it out of bounds here on the near side of the field, defending third for Wheaton, throw for Fultz. Fultz throw goes into Orweiler, touch back to Fultz. Fultz touches up the middle of the field, trying to find Kashaba. Kashaba one time upfield to Lee, and this is going to go past Lee, past everybody except for Novak.
You know, Noah, if we haven't described it in enough detail, what we're seeing here is really quite impressive and something we haven't seen all year long, almost just the fact that all year long Wheaton has been able to get quality possession time and quality chances in the other end. This game, they've had those things. The difference is they just haven't been able to get by the last line of defense for Illinois Wesleyan and get it in the net. Wesleyan, all game long, just doing a great job of preventing quality scoring opportunities at the net.
And that's showing in the score as they were able to get 2 past this Wheaton team early. And you'll see more substitutions. Here's your, actually you won't because it's a Wheaton throw, but you got 3 more girls ready to check in for Wesleyan. Fresh legs constantly being put back onto the field.
The line change again.
That's right. What is this, the Dallas Stars or something, Zach? That's your team, right?
I think that is my team, yes. Although they're not playing so well this year, so I don't know if we should compare Illinois Wesleyan to them.
Cross, switch of field, goes over to Kleinster, corner flag, near side. Kleinster, 2 defenders in front of her, blows by one of them towards the top corner of the box, has it on her left foot, takes a shot, and that's going to go off of a defender. Goes to Orweiler, though, middle of the box. Orweiler back to Kashaba. Kashaba, long ball, out of bounds. Goal kick.
Taking over the Titans, number 4, Molly O'Brien, number 5, Alyssa Fuller, and number 23, Caroline Layton. Heading for Wheaton, number
We got a
10,
sub here for Wheaton.
Hodina checking in to the game for Wheaton, taking out Maria Delatorre.
So Hodina's going to be playing that left midfield position. Goal kick now.
And Molly O'Brien checking back into the game for Illinois Wesleyan.
I don't know how their Coach David Barrett's got to be thrilled he was able to get away with so much time with her on the bench without Wheaton taking control of this game again. Trailing by 1, Wheaton is.
Yeah, and I think that's what Illinois Wesleyan is going for. When they've got their scorers on the bench, it's damage control. You're trying to prevent Wheaton from putting one in the net until you can get your scorers back in the game with a rest and try to generate some more opportunities at Wheaton's net.
Throw by Wesleyan, cleared out by Lidner.
I got it.
Yeah, I know, right? I feel like we're right behind home plate right now. It's going to go out of bounds, though. Another throw for Wesleyan. Played upfield. It's going to go. Whistle goes in favor of Wheaton. Foul on Wesleyan. That's going to be on O'Brien, I believe. Kleinster's dispossessed. O'Brien has it in the attacking third of the field, trying to find Leighton up top, and Mosier's going to clear it out. Clearance goes to Herman. Herman one-times it up to Lee, who's really almost not looking for the ball on that side of her. Looks like she wanted to run outside with it. It's going to be another Wesleyan throw in their attacking third of the field.
We've got 16 minutes to go in this game, Noah. Illinois Wesleyan still leading 2-1.
And Wheaton has shown flashes of what we've seen earlier in this season, but just like you've said, having a really tough time actually getting anything going on the ground in the attacking third of the field. Orweiler wins the ball on the near side of the field, and then she touches it out of bounds.
And Noah, do you have any idea when the last time Wheaton has lost a home game is? It has to have been quite a while. I know they haven't lost one this year, and they had, obviously, the big winning streak coming into this season.
Well, you know, I know that since 2002, when it was called Joe Bean Stadium, they have only lost 2 games here. They've tied 3, and they've got, I don't know, about maybe 2,000 or 3,000 wins in that period of time.
That's approximate, of course, but it's been quite an impressive run at Joe Bean Stadium for the Thunder.
No, you want an exact number? 87. There you go.
1987. Or
87 wins. 87 wins.
87 wins, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Now, that is a fantastic question. Last time they lost a home game. I don't think it was this season because we lost at Loras, and then we lost at Carthage.
Yeah, undefeated at home this season.
We did tie at home against Eau Claire this season. Still 2-1, 15 minutes left. Foul goes against Wheaton in the middle of the field. Free kick for Wesleyan.
Let's call it 1887, Noah, last time they lost at home.
School since what, 1860?
Yeah, so
27 years.
27 years after the school was founded, they lost at home.
And they haven't lost since. And until we get that confirmed, that's how it'll stand in this radio broadcast. And this could be a dangerous free kick for Wesleyan as a foul is called right at the top of the semi-oval, I guess you could call it. It's not a semicircle, really. Actually, right in that area. 3 Wesleyan players lining up over the ball, 5-man wall. And it's going to be Sampson lining up over it. And standing in front of her are Marcheski and it looks like Rodriguez. Touch out to Sampson. She puts a shot just over the cross. Thought it was just over the crossbar. Yes, it is. Whew, thought that fell in the goal for a second.
Referee calling a corner kick. Ball must have been tipped on its way up.
By Ingrid Erickson. Corner kick for Wesleyan. They're going to take all the time in the world to get over there. That would be a great time for a counterattack.
Yeah, 13 and a half minutes left. Illinois Wesleyan content to rag a little bit here.
Corner kick to be taken by Rodriguez. Plays high in the air across the center of the box. That's going to be headed straight to a Wesleyan player. Push is called on the play. Ball's cleared out after the whistle. Free kick for the Wheaton defense. Mosier's going to take this, make sure she lines it up with that sideline judge. Doesn't want to have this one called back for any reason, and she's going to play it in the air towards midfield and carry Kishaba. Kishaba one time up to Lee. That's going to be cleared out by Rodriguez. Clearance goes to Lindner. Lindner tries to find Hodina, and it's going to roll past Hodina out of bounds. Wesleyan throw coming up on their attacking third on the far side. Again, we remind you we do have Wheaton football tonight. Game of the week. Wheaton College playing North Central here, just a bit west of us, at 7 o'clock. Lee with the ball, top corner of the box on the far side. She's got one defender in front of her. That's Rodriguez. Plays it across the field in the air. That's going to be Herman trying to possess it. Herman has Kleinstra behind her and actually knocks it off of a Titan defender, right back off of herself, and that's going to be a goal kick for Wesleyan.
Number 14, Rebecca Oliver.
Delatorre and Oliver checking back into the game for Wheaton. Looks like it's Foltz and Kashaba coming out for the Thunder.
And they're going to move Orweiler up top. Orweiler, Lee, and Herman playing the attacking positions right now. Up top at striker. Mosier wins the ball and tries to find Orweiler on the ground. She does. Orweiler turns towards the top of the box, has it on her right foot, touches square across the box. That's going to be cleared out, and she's knocked down. Now Carson plays in the air, headed out by Rodriguez. Header goes out of bounds. Wheaton throw right at the corner flag. And putting Orweiler up top might just be a brilliant move by Coach Felsky if this works out. Touch goes back to Kleinstra. Kleinstra loses it. Touched upfield towards Wheaton territory. Karsten has it. Karsten coming middle of the field, plays on the ground up to Orweiler. Orweiler with a touch to Lee. Lee touches towards the top of the box, has it on her right foot, takes a shot. That's going to roll slowly, though, into the hands of Novak.
Kind of a desperate attempt there. 3 defenders surrounding Taryn Lee. Just tried to put it in front of her right foot so she could get something at the net.
I mean, when else are you going to get a shot? She had 2 shots in the first half. It's defense shutting her down, really, and the attack now trying to shut down the Wheaton defense by just going through them. Lindner's not going to let that happen. She clears it back upfield, trying to find Orweiler. And it's actually going to go off of Orweiler and out of bounds. Illinois Wesleyan throw.
The Illinois Wesleyan players look shocked that was called a
throw.
A throw for them.
Throw goes into Wheaton, and co-captain is knocked down by Mosier. No call. Throw now for Wheaton goes up to Orweiler. Orweiler plays to Hodina. Hodina plays on the ground up to Lee. Lee finds Orweiler on the far sideline. Orweiler could have a big switch here if she can get it. Passes back to Mosier instead. Mosier with a long ball. Good ups by Knack to head that one out of the air. And here's the long clearance for Wesleyan. We may be seeing a little bit of a kick and run now for the rest of the game for the Titans. Just trying to put this one away and take the W home. Less than 10 minutes left in regulation. They lead Wheaton by 1. Oliver defending O'Brien on the far side. Sliding tackle. Goes out of bounds off of Oliver. Throw for Wesleyan. Like to take this time to thank Rustin Lindsay and John Pohl, our statisticians of the game, along with Omar Vargas. Throw goes in for Wheaton. For Wesleyan, rather, up to O'Brien. O'Brien tries to hit it into Wheaton's box. That's going to be a high clearance by Mosier, coming down around the bottom of Wheaton's circle. One touch by Herman up to Lee, and Lee tries to go straight through the defense. Can't, but it's knocked back to Delatorre. Delatorre keeps going north. Let's go upfield. Finds Orweiler on the ground. Orweiler with defenders swarming. Sliding tackle by Orweiler, trying to keep the ball in the attacking third towards the top of the box, and not going to be able to. Karsten has it, though. Karsten plays on the ground to Herman. Herman with a flick on, trying to find Lee, and defender in the way of that one, too. 9, 10 players behind the ball. Lee gets the ball in the middle of the box, plays left foot just wide of the goal. That was her best chance of the game so far. Thought that was going to be the equalizer.
And she turned around and looked at the ref, Noah, like she was shocked. I think she got clipped from behind as she took that shot, which caused her to put it wide left.
Berg checks in for Herman. I think she did get clipped. I believe you're right, but no call, as both players were going hard for it. And that was a great turn. She had been turning with her back to the goal. She'd been turning to her left the entire game, setting up her right foot, and again, setting up her right foot. That time, she turns to her right, setting up her left foot. The defense was not ready for it, and she took a left-footed shot.
And that was her best opportunity of the game by far. A point-blank shot right in front of the net. Unfortunately, like we said, it seemed to just get clipped a little bit from behind and put the ball wide left.
8:13 left. The clock will continue to run as soon as this kick is taken. Goal kick for Novak and the Titans. Kicked upfield, taken out of the air by Mosier. Knocked back now to Kleinstra. Kleinstra plays near side to Berg. Berg has Kleinstra running, but plays unpredictably towards the center of the field. I like that. A little bit of creativity. Now finds Karsten. Karsten plays off the referee. Come on, sir. He's part of the field, part of play. He can block a goal if he wants to. Now Lee has it near the top of the box. That's going to be cleared out by Wesleyan. Little desperation by both teams, would you say, here in the attack for Wheaton and the defense for Wesleyan.
I think so. It seems like Illinois Wesleyan's defenders starting to stand around a little bit more. Wheaton starting to find some more room. Obviously, their offense is desperate with just 7.5 minutes to go here, down 1.
Throw for Hodina. Throw goes into Delatorre. Touch back to Hodina. Hodina sliding tackle on her. She's dispossessed and then knocked out of bounds off of Hodina. Throw for Wesleyan. 7:15 left in regulation. Wheaton trying to find that equalizer of a goal. It's been eluding them this entire game. Throw-in goes to Delatorre. Delatorre drops it back to Karsten. Karsten has the entire near side open. She cuts it back, though, to the far side. Mosier, long ball into the box, over the head of the defense to Berg. Berg plays it on the ground. Great save, getting on the ground. Novak keeping that one from going in.
Excellent save. That was exactly what we needed right there. The defender misplaying the ball, allowing it to go over her head right onto the foot of Berg, who got a pretty decent shot on the net. Keeper just made a diving save. Great play.
And here's your kick and run game. Wheaton kicks it upfield to Lidner. Lidner not going to let it roll back even as she takes possession of it. Bringing it upfield now. Former attacker coming in to Illinois Wesleyan territory. Continues her run, trying to get it back from Lee. It's going to go to Wesleyan, though. Karsten dropped back to cover for her, playing that sweeper position. Splits two defenders on the ground. Finds Delatorre. Delatorre beats another one, and she is taken down from behind. Smart fouls. We've talked about it already, but some smart fouls for Wesleyan.
Very smart. I'm a little surprised.
No yellow?
I'm a little surprised there's no booking there.
And she's pulled down again and kicked. No call. Delatorre maintains possession. Plays near side to Berg, top corner of the box. Cutting in towards the box. Plays left foot across the box. Cleared out by Rodriguez. Clearance goes to Kleinstra. 5:45 left. Kleinstra plays square to Karsten. Moving towards the far side of the field. Karsten plays Mosier. Mosier, long ball high in the air, into the box, taken out of the air by Novak, and Lee goes under her. Foul is called on Lee as Lee was knocked down. Novak came down on top of her.
Yeah, that's a good no call. Looked like the Illinois Wesleyan players were a little upset there, but Lee definitely got taken down, and that's what caused her to take the goalie's legs out as she went up for the ball.
Clearance back to Lidner now. Lidner has it on her right foot, plays in the air up, straight up the middle of the field to Orweiler. Orweiler turns upfield, has it on her right foot, could have a long shot here. 5 minutes left, plays Berg on the near side. Berg with a high ball towards the far post, and that's going to go past the keeper to Lee. Lee plays it back to Hodina in the box near the goal line, and that's going to be cleared out by the Wesleyan defense.
Little panic there on the defensive end for Illinois Wesleyan.
Throw for Hodina. Hodina's throw goes towards the goal line to Lee. Lee drops it back to Hodina. Hodina didn't know if it was going to her or Orweiler. It's going to be cleared out of bounds for another Wheaton throw on the far side. Throw goes into Delatorre near the top corner of the box on the far side. Delatorre touch to Orweiler. Touch back to Lee. Back to Delatorre. Delatorre puts a shot on. That's going to be saved by Novak. Coming up on 4 minutes left in regulation. Wheaton playing some of the best soccer it's played all day here in the last 10 minutes or so. Now ball is cleared upfield for Wheaton to Lee. Lee has Orweiler in front of her, finds her on the ground. Orweiler slips, and then it's cleared out. Mosier's got it. Mosier plays on the ground to Lee. Lee being triple teamed. She's knocked down. Ball was won, though. No call. Cleared up towards O'Brien. Oliver's going to have it. Oliver could drop back to Lindner. She does. Lindner has it, turns with it upfield, plays it across midfield to Orweiler, over the head of her, actually. That's going to roll out of bounds across the goal line.
Yeah, this game is set up for a wild 3.5 last minutes, Noah. It looks like right now Wheaton putting everything they have on the net, and Illinois Wesleyan doing everything they can to fend them off. They've stopped worrying about the offensive end. They're just trying to keep the ball out of their net.
A lot of times that's what happens. You see a team drop a couple players back or switch positions for a coach to try to hang on to a lead instead of continue doing what they've been doing all day. And a lot of times it backfires because you start worrying about escaping with a win instead of playing the style of soccer that got you the lead. Long ball for Rodriguez. Goes up past O'Brien, who's not even really challenging for it. And O'Brien is going to lose it. Actually, that's going to be Fulner who loses it off the end line. Goal kick for Erickson. She usually plays these short. She does now to Lindner. Lindner has Hodina showing on the line, plays middle of the field instead to Oliver. Oliver turns upfield a little bit and plays one skip to Delatorre. Delatorre trying to touch around a defender. She does. Nice little move. Delatorre with another defender in front of her. Leaves it for Kleinstra. Kleinstra pushing upfield, has Berg in front of her. Has it knocked away from her to Delatorre, though, top of the box. Delatorre with it still. Plays over far side Hodina. Hodina takes a long strike on goal. Punched over the goal by the keeper. Great save by Novak.
And what a shot by Hodina. A very long shot that she put almost in perfect placement. Keeper had to make a great save there.
Wheaton with another short corner. Touched from Kleinstra to Berg. Berg has it. About 30 yards out now, plays back to Lindner. Lindner in the attacking third of the field, touches around one defender, and then it's going to be cleared out. Wheaton's going to have to hurry or hope it goes out of bounds. Oliver shields the ball out of bounds, and then it's kicked away from her as O'Brien wasting a little time maybe there. And O'Brien looks like she was the one who thought she was wronged. 1 minute and 30 seconds left in regulation. Wheaton has been absolutely pounding down the door, looking for any sort of a crack whatsoever, trying to put through the tying goal. Kleinstra with the ball coming up, attacking third of the field, middle of the field, touches towards the top of the box, now loses it, touches back to Delatorre. Delatorre, long shot, that's going to go over the crossbar. Out of bounds goal kick, and this is not good for Wheaton because goal kicks, she can take a little bit of time off the clock here. Got about a minute left.
1 minute remaining regulation.
And you see the tenths of the seconds ticking away on the scoreboard. Wheaton still looking for that equalizer goal. And a long clearance by Wesleyan goes back to Lindner. Lindner with a high touch right back upfield. Wesleyan can taste it. O'Brien has it middle of the field. Plays it up off of Oliver. And then Karsten clears it upfield. Berg bumped in the back, no call. 30 seconds left. Wheaton still looking to get some last-minute magic going. Clearance goes up to Lee. Lee touches with her head around one defender to the keeper. And that's going to be Novak with it. As the time is winding down. Novak's punt goes to midfield. 10 seconds left. Mosier with a long ball trying to find Orweiler up top.
5,
it's going to be cleared out of bounds.
3, 2, 1.
And that's going to be an Illinois Wesleyan win here at Joe Bean Stadium, Wheaton College. A little shell-shocked almost, coming off of the bench. They fall to 14-3-1 on the season. Illinois Wesleyan moves to 12-5 on the season. More importantly, though, Zach, in order to be in this CCIW tournament, you have to be one of the top 4 teams. Wheaton's still definitely able to do that. They've got to beat North Central on the 29th. If they do that, they'll finish 5-2 in conference. Can still be one of those top 4 teams. Can still be in this CCIW tournament.
Yeah, this is obviously a very tough loss for the Thunder. They've lost the 1 seed as for now in the conference. But you know what? They have to focus and move on, move forward, and focus on their next game, because this, Wheaton certainly had their chances in this game and could have put a few of them in the net, but mostly this was not a case of Wheaton beating themselves. Illinois Wesleyan came in here with a strategy, and they played a great game. They played a great game defensively and really able to neutralize Wheaton's big scores. So Wheaton has to, give Wesleyan credit for playing a good game and move on.
And they will be moving on the 29th against North Central College, their last conference game of the season. That's going to be here at Joe Bean Stadium. Again, last conference game, we say that aside from the 5th and the 8th, which are the dates of the CCIW tournament semifinals and finals, that's in November. After North Central, they've got one last game against DePaul University. That's going to be at 7 p.m. on November 1st here at Joe Bean Stadium. Again, Wheaton moving to 4-3-1 on the season, 4-2 in conference play. The girls gathering together on their side of midfield. We're going to have some end-of-the-game statistics for you in a moment, and hopefully an interview with Coach Felsky, if he's up for it. That's tough. I mean, we were talking about the last time Wheaton's lost at home, and it hasn't been this season, and it certainly hasn't been the season before that because they went undefeated. So it's been a while since these girls have seen the guest score higher than theirs on the scoreboard.
It's been a long while, and that's going to be something to watch for going forward. Wheaton, the thing to keep in mind, they're still 14-3-1. They lost a home game. They're going to have to refocus and move forward, because this is the kind of game that can be pretty damaging psychologically. You've just got to press forward, put it out of your minds, and they may very well see this team again in the CCIW tournament.
Yeah, may see this team, may see, actually, most likely will see the Carthage team
Carthage again, yeah,
that they lost to. And in that Carthage game, Wheaton had 25 shots to Carthage's 2 shots. Carthage put both of those shots in the back of the net, and Wheaton was only able to convert on 1 goal. Wheaton converting on 1 goal today. They had 19 shots in today's game, 9 of them on goal, 1 in the goal. Kleinstra had 5 shots. She scored. Delatorre had the assist on it, 3 shots of her own. Lee with 4 shots, 2 on goal. Again, that one time she turned to her right to set up her left foot, that really caught him off guard. I'd look for her to become more mobile with that move, setting up her opposite foot. Defenders trying to actually kind of learning that they're actually giving her left foot a little more.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that one thing that Carthage and Illinois Wesleyan were both able to do was, to a large extent, really shut down Wheaton's leading scorers. So Wheaton needs to, they rely on those leading scorers, and their leading scorers are going to have to get going at some point if they're going to make a run deep in the national tournament. But at the same time, you have to start relying on some of your other players, and some of Wheaton's players that don't usually put the ball in the back of the net may have to start doing so.
Yeah, and Novak really had a fantastic save on that shot by Hodina from distance. May have been the equalizer. She saved it anyway. She also had 7 other saves, so 8 saves on the day for Novak. Erickson finished with 2, and Wesleyan with 8 shots, so they only had 1 shot in the second half of play. We will have an interview with Coach Felsky in just a moment here. Fouls, Wesleyan with 13 fouls to Wheaton's 6, and Wheaton had the edge on corner kicks, 9-4. We got Coach Felsky here getting his headset on. Coach, thanks for taking time to come up here for the interview.
No problem.
First loss at home in a while. It's obviously any loss is going to be tough. This one may be a little tougher, even considering it's one of the last conference games. You guys still 4-2 in conference, but Illinois Wesleyan able to jump to 4-1 now, so they've got about half a game on you right now.
Yeah, disappointed today, really disappointed. Yeah, we lost, and that's disappointing enough, but we looked very poor today. Indecisive in a lot of areas. I just told the team we've got to look inside now. The coaching staff certainly has some decisions to make and some things to analyze. So we'll go back to the drawing board. This team is too talented to drop its heads for too long, so we'll be back.
When you say go back to the drawing board, what sort of things would you look at changing? Would it be player positioning or actually who's on the field? What sort of things would you be tweaking?
Yeah, I think everything. When we give up early goals, it kills us. It kills us, and not even real good goals, just goals that are just badly cleared or bad judgments, bad mistakes. So everything from player personnel on the field to formation to everything. We're just going to look at everything. So this was certainly discouraging, but we'll be back, like I said.
All right, Coach, thanks for taking the time, and we'll see you against North Central pretty soon.
No problem. Thank you.
Coach Felsky coming up for an interview again. The Wheaton women's team taking the loss today, moving to 14-3 and 1 on the season. I'm Noah Helm. I was joined by Zach Bowler today. Thanks to him. Thanks to Rustin Lindsay and John Pohl. And this has been a production of WETN Sports. We do have the football game coming up at 7 o'clock, so make sure you tune in for that. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.